Welcome. I'm Oni Kirk, and thank you for joining us for Be Intentional. Over the years, my wife and my children, we have made it a habit of sitting down at the dinner table in the evening and breaking bread. Now, you may think that's not very important in today's time because you can grab something quickly on the way. But everything that ever happened important in biblical history, there was a meal around it. If you remember, when the children of Israel were brought out of bondage, there was the Passover meal, and they were to eat it as a family. It was lamb and leavened bread. You might remember that we just came through the resurrection season, and Jesus sat down with his disciples before he went to the cross to pay the price for our sins, and he had a meal. And we know they had a common cup of wine, and they had bread, and they celebrated the Passover meal together because he was the Paschal Lamb. Throughout biblical history, you will always find that a meal was critical in terms of sitting down and communing. But today's culture no longer adheres to that principle. We don't make it important to sit down and break bread to prepare the meal together, except for these special holidays. But this is something that a family should do every day. Not only natural families, but spiritual families. In 1 Corinthians 11, it talks about the communion. It was a meal. It wasn't just a little cup of juice and a cracker. No, that's something that man instituted. In 1 Corinthians 11, it was a meal where they sat down and they communed one with another. They fellowshiped one with another. They inquired of one another's well-being. Whenever there was a festive affair, whether a wedding or whatever, a gathering, there was a festive meal, the breaking of bread. When God created the world, in Genesis 1:29, he made sure that there was a meal. He said, "Every herb-bearing tree I have given to you for food." He intended for us to commune and break bread together. Now, there was one meal that we should not have eaten. That's when Adam and Eve ate of the fruit of the tree. Yes, it was a snack, but they communed and ate of that tree. And after Adam ate of the tree, the entire destiny of mankind changed from having that meal together. I want to encourage you and your families. Be intentional. Sit down. Break bread together. Eat with one another. Dr. Ben Carson, he was a neurosurgeon, is a neurosurgeon, made sure that every night after he finished at the hospital, that he came home and sat down with his wife and 3 sons. It was 9 o'clock at night, but they honored the covenantal meal together as a family. Be intentional. You'll see the difference in your household when you break bread together. This has been Papa O, encouraging you to be intentional.